Honorable Emmanuel Ibeshi, a man of excellence, integrity, an honorable man, a revolutionary leader, a role model, a man with a clear vision, a God-fearing man with an undiluted acumen, an amazing teacher, an entrepreneur of our time. He's a man who listens, a man with a big heart, on a mission and a relentless pursuit to fix and restore the ancient landmark of Cross River State.
My greatest vision is to make Cross River State a one-stop center for business, for leisure, for tourism, which it has been branded for, and to make it secure and a place any investor would love to come and put in his money. There's already a platform laid. I think the Donald Duke administration already created a platform and a blueprint for which Cross River State is known. And that came with a signature project of both Tinapa, the Obudu Cattle Ranch, and the Carnival, Calabar. Those three lay the foundation for what anybody sitting on that government's house should use as a platform. And I think to a large extent Imoke also improved on that. When Imoke came after Donald Duke, he improved on that to a large extent by creating various agencies that promoted agricultural development, like Medium MEDA. There are other agencies like RUDA, which continued with rural development to rural areas, and Imoke partnered with the African Development Bank to work on the RAMP project, which took rural routes that Duke didn't complete to rural areas where people could come to the cities with their goods and products very easily. And then he created, that's Imoke now, because it's already known globally what Duke had already done. I'm only trying to expand on how I intend to do that. Imoke further went on to create the Songhai Farm, which is like a model which could take Cross River State from just a normal state to an agricultural value chain state, where you can have production, processing, and packaging, which, if continued, could easily give a good birth to reviving Tinapa that has been lying prostrate. And it's looking as if it's a failed project when it's not a failed project. It's one of the most ambitious entrepreneurial projects anybody can carry out. So the Tinapa project is a project that I would want to see come to fruition by leveraging on the agricultural value chains, which Imoke gave a sample, a model in the Songhai Farm. And to be able to do that, you need to utilize what Imoke also created in the Institute of Technology Management in UGEP. You find out there are so many graduates roaming the streets in Cross River State and outside Cross River State who are skilled, but they need these skills to be packaged. And I think that is the selling point for the ITM at UGEP, because you can redirect all these energies in these youths into that place. Some of them can even come up with the agricultural value chains that we don't even understand, in cassava processing or packaging or storage, or in fabrication of some of the tools that can help that we don't even know about right now. So they only need to be guided and directed. Some of these things are some of the things that I believe I will be able to guide Cross River to that destination of an investor's haven for what it's supposed to be. Crime has a gestation period. So it's in identifying the synopsis of how our young people get led into deviance in the society. That is number one. some of these, in Calabar as a city, for instance, we used to have street urchins that developed into Colombo boys or whatever it is. First of all, identifying what their issues are is number one. Two, getting into their mindsets. Three, society itself being a model for these young people to copy, because it didn't just start with the young people. Some of us elders also have failed, because these young people are trying to be what they are not, and when they can't get it, they result into crime, and it leads them into the street or into robbery or into killing or into kidnapping or whatever it is. I think the first area to deal with crime, not only in Cross River State, in Nigeria as a whole, it starts from the family. Children don't have mentors anymore. Before a child gets out onto the street and gets into crime, the family itself has failed, because there are certain values that a father or a mother gives onto a child that can curb you. I remember growing up, we used to do civic studies. I don't even know if they still do that. They teach you how to be responsible to the community, to the society. Those values have gone. And so when we deal with these values from the root, it will not be like treating them in the surface. When they mature and they are on the streets raping, robbing and kidnapping, it starts from there. The institute of marriage, the family unit itself, it needs a whole lot of surgery. I think we start from there. And then you come on to some other larger issues where you have cults, because it becomes a peer pressure, it becomes a status symbol, and it leads its in gradations. By the time it gets into that, you know that you have literally lost your authority over your sibling, and is given onto circumstances on the streets before you see them become cults or whatever. And then you take it to another larger level where you have communal clashes that are not nipped in the bud, and it becomes a huge issue because the relevant authorities did not nip them in the bud, and people are just killed anyhow. And that's a problem we have in Cross River State, where the responsibility of government does not really see where they should direct or channel its efforts for safety and security of lives and property in the state. And so you begin to see all those kind of things happen. Quarters of the age limit we're talking about should fall between 18 to 45. Let me put it at broad range. And this forms the productive group in our society today. What do I have for them? In fact, my heart bleeds for this age group today, because they seem disenfranchised completely from society, and that's why they are pushed to drugs or to crime the way they are. Like I had said earlier, the model that Donald Duke had laid in providing opportunity for tourism, opportunity for leisure, and opportunity for investment, which Imoki further re-emphasized, because I'm speaking specifically based on what these predecessors have laid down as a model. You can't go beyond that. They had captured what the youth should target his attention into. Take, for instance, in tourism. If you go abroad, you find tour guides, you go to safaris, see people who are trained in this. We have drill monkeys. You can make a whole lot out of that. And sometimes I was looking at CNN at the point where they showcase these drill monkeys, and I saw the young men who were there as tour guides. You can generate so much energy of the youth and channel it into that. Just from just one, that is only one item that you can put youth energy into. And there are so many areas, small scale, that you can generate from the ITM in Ugep, where skill acquisition can be made paramount. And you're not going to be carrying your certificate running helter-skelter. You would rather be rechanneled to deploy your energies into some of these agricultural value chains that I was talking about, where they will be productive in cassava processing, or banana processing, or pineapple processing, or cocoa processing. Any of these value chains can take us from one area to the other, where the youth and women can be fully employed, gainfully. I mean, I have a wife, and I can tell you my wife runs my government. They are better managers, and their potentials cannot be minimized, and they have very sharp judgment, and they have understanding of a whole lot. So women have about the same capacity in public sector, and a couple of them that have come out in the public sector, you can see that they have done very, very well. So the opportunity is inelastic for women to participate in politics, in governance, in leadership, as we have seen. So it's for them to take up the gauntlet and run with the men and give them a run for their money. PDP has run the state for 21 years. So we have a blueprint. And 3/4 of what you have known Donald Duke's administration putting Cross River in the global map has been nothing but PDP blueprint. Incidentally, I was PDP National Publicity Secretary, the first PDP National Publicity Secretary. And one of the things that we tried to do was to showcase our blueprint. And so as Publicity Secretary, I started what you call today the Umbrella Magazine. That was to showcase the PDP manifesto, using various local governments as prototypes for our teaming members, both local and in diaspora, to invest by showing them whatever they can do in infrastructural development, in capacity building, in agriculture, in civil society, and all that. So PDP blueprint, as far as Cross River State is concerned, from 99 to date, Cross River State has been PDP. The state is drifting apart, for Christ's sake. This is not the Cross River we dreamed about. The Cross River we dreamed about had a blueprint that I have talked so generally about, from Donald Duke to Lee Elimoke. What we have today is complete disconnect. There is a disconnect from the foundation that has been laid for this. I have been in this foundation from the beginning, and I can categorically tell you that from 1999 to date, I have been part of this system. And if anybody knows this system, I know it inside out. The 3 senatorial districts, the ethnic configuration of the state, and the attitude of the state, and the young people. This is the most peaceful, malleable state you can have. And you need leadership, the right leadership, to put all of this resource base together to give it a direction. And that is why I saw that, look, we have completely deviated from where we're going, and the state is tearing apart, and people are crying. And this is more like just a rescue mission that I'm coming into, to redirect the state back to the foundation that had been laid, so that there can be peace, there can be tranquility, there can be development, there can be investment, there can be all the infrastructure that had been laid before. You can have people coming back to the ranch and feel good that they're coming to the ranch. The mountain race can effectively take off again. The Tinapa resort can be fully employed to its full capacity. And we used to have 3 airlines that used to come to Cross River, to come to Calabar. They've been reduced to 1. And even that one, sometimes, they cancel their flights or whatever. Why? Where are the people? Where is the business? Where is the tourism? Where are the investors? We cannot sit down and keep watching this state running aground, because there must be confidence building to bring the state back to its previous glory. Those days they used to talk about Cross River State as the cleanest state. In fact, Abuja was struggling to compete with Cross River. Nothing is happening in Cross River. And so it is timeous for me, coming from Cross River North specifically, where we feel really we feel terrible about the things that are happening, because it's our turn for governorship. And if the North is watching its turn for governorship, taking Cross River State down to the level we find ourselves, it is time to rescue the state, and specifically to rescue Northern Cross River State from the abyss, as it seems. Yes, I'm running for governor of Cross River State 2019. Yes. Categorical, yes.